Thanks for tuning in Summary MMA. In this video, Makhachev lands devastating head kick KO, crushing Volkanovski's dream of becoming a two-division champ. Strickland doesn't believe Chimaev deserves a shot at his middleweight belt after his win over Kamaru Usman. Man leaps from stands and attacks Paulo Costa, who was in attendance of UFC 294. Dana White confirms interest in Michael Venom Page, bizarre Walker-Ankalaev stoppage, and more. Islam Makhachev was initially expected to fight Charles Oliveira in the main event of UFC 294, who withdrew due to a cut. Alexander Volkanovski stepped in on short notice, moving up a weight division to try becoming a two-division champ. It was arguably one of Makhachev's most impressive performances to date, as he set up his knockout in stunning fashion. Makhachev launched a head kick out of nowhere that bounced off Volkanovski's head, and sent the UFC featherweight champion crashing to the canvas in the first round.
Hi. Hey, how are you?
Good, thanks. How are you? Just two questions. Volkanovski seemed to want to turn around quickly. He had mentioned before, Ilya Topuria January. What do you think of him wanting to turn around quickly? Are you for that?
Yeah, obviously, he got head kick KO tonight. Let him go see the doctor. Let's make sure he's okay. Let's give him some time to recover, get some stitches in that eye, and then we'll talk. But obviously, if he's medically cleared and he's ready to turn around, love it.
Volkanovski is still undefeated in the UFC featherweight division. This is his second attempt to move up a division and challenge Makhachev for the lightweight title. His losses to Makhachev bookend a successful featherweight title defense against Yair Rodriguez in July. In an emotional post-fight press conference interview, the featherweight champion talked about his loss to Makhachev, how he wants to keep busy fighting, and what is next for him in the UFC.
What do you put that down to? Why do you think you were hesitant?
Look, man, I'm not. I'm not gonna. I don't want to sit there and obviously make excuses. You know what I mean? So, obviously, I'm a big believer in preparation and stuff like that. But I back myself. So that's the decision I made. You know what I mean? I probably made decisions. I could have made better decisions but again, he's not somebody you should be taking a short notice with, but I needed it. Again, obviously a lot of people will say it's for the money and all that, but it was much more than that. It is hard, it really is hard for athletes, sorry. I never thought I'd struggle with it, but for some reason, when I wasn't fighting or in camp, I just do my head in, I needed a fight, and then this opportunity come up, and I'll be honest, I wasn't training as much as I should have, but I thought I had to, I had to do it. I had to take it. I thought it'd be, I'm telling myself it's meant to be. Obviously, I was struggling a little bit, not fighting, doing my head in. I don't know how. Everything's fine. I've got a beautiful family, but I don't know. I think you just need to keep busy. So that's why I just ask the UFC to just keep me busy, because I need to be keeping busy. I need to be in camp. Otherwise, I'm going to do my head in. So that's I'll leave it at that.
With the win over Volkanovski, Islam Makhachev successfully defends his title for the second time and extends his winning streak to 13. Islam Makhachev and Khabib Nurmagomedov grew up together in Dagestan, under the watchful eye of Khabib's father, Abdulmanap Nurmagomedov. And that is the reason Islam never shies away from the relationship he shares with his mentor and close friend Khabib Nurmagomedov. Makhachev rarely escapes comparisons to Nurmagomedov, with both fighters having reigned at the top of the UFC lightweight division in similarly dominant fashion. The win actually serves as Makhachev's second consecutive title defense, and he only needs one more to tie Nurmagomedov, Ben Henderson, Frankie Edgar, and BJ Penn for the most in UFC lightweight history. Despite the comparison made by fans and the media, UFC CEO Dana White says Makhachev really needs to do anything to separate himself and his legacy from the one built by Nurmagomedov.
Well, I don't know if he really lives in Khabib's shot. I mean, tonight was a big step in the right direction. You know, the guy's been dominant. Then he goes in and you know, all the controversy that came off that last fight, and he finishes this fight the way that he did. And again, there's no excuse. It's not like you say, oh, this thing went in the third round. Volkanovski didn't have enough time to train. He went in there and viciously, impressively finished this fight with a Crow Cop-esque kick to the head. It doesn't get any better than that against a very tough, durable guy who has a great chin, and you know, you don't ever see anybody do that to Volkanovski. So keeps doing what he's doing. It's just, you just got to keep grinding and knocking them down one by one, and it eventually happens. The truth is, when you look at Khabib, and nothing against Khabib, Khabib came in and won the title and defended, but this kid could go on a defense run that absolutely blows everybody away that ever held the belt in that division.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
The win further cements Makhachev as the best lightweight in the world right now. And the fighter has plenty of options to become the best lightweight of all times, with fighters like Charles Oliveira and Justin Gaethje waiting for their chance to fight the champion.
I think you give it to Oliveira. But again, these are all questions that I really can't answer right now. When we get home, we'll figure this stuff out and see what's next for everybody.
What do you think? Who should be Makhachev and Volkanovski be fighting next in their title defenses? UFC CEO Dana White has labeled the UFC 294 matchup between Khamzat Chimaev and Kamaru Usman as a title eliminator in the build-up to the event. Chimaev required a full 15 minutes to get past Usman, who took the fight on 2 weeks' notice, moving up a weight class. For that reason, many fellow fighters thought the real winner of this fight was Usman. Here's what they had to say. But the former welterweight champion has high expectations for his performances, and he didn't seem too happy with the final result of the fight. Chimaev took home 2 scores of 29-27 for his early domination of Usman on the canvas, while one judge scored it a 28-28 draw, making the co-main event of UFC 294 a majority decision win for Chimaev.
Well, unofficially, I believe that you won the striking battle, landing more strikes there. We have to look at those official numbers to be ensured. But Kamaru, do you stay at 185? Do you go back down to 170? Do you take some time away from the sport? I mean, what's going through your mind? I know it's hard to answer these questions right now, though.
Yeah, it's a lot of questions, but I it's hard to say. Take time away from the sport. I just came off the couch in 9 days and fought a young, hungry bull like that. I think it's more of me, believing in myself again, trusting my coaches, trusting my team, trusting myself, and going out there and taking care of business. I just need to believe in myself and get out there. It's a tough one, but I'm gonna take a little bit of time, just a little bit, and I'm back in the gym. Back in the gym, and I don't mind it. I think he's gonna fight for the title. I'll take Duplessis, co-main. UFC 300. Why not?
UFC middleweight champion Sean Strickland was quick on the mic to say he doesn't believe Chimaev should be next for the belt. In an interview in the UFC Fight Pass, the middleweight champion says he thinks Chimaev hasn't done enough to earn the opportunity.
Tell me, though, more about Khamzat, because it sounds like he's next.
The only thing I like about Chimaev is he sells fights. For some reason, people fucking like him or don't like him. I don't know. To me, he's a fucking paycheck. He sells a lot of fights, people paying to watch, but fucking hasn't earned it. Doesn't fucking deserve it. But here we are. Give it to him. He sells a lot of fights. I'll go fucking fight the man for 5 rounds. But no, he has not earned it. He doesn't fucking deserve it. And getting a decision with a welterweight off a couch is not fucking earned it.
He was asked about you, and he said that while he respected you, he thought you were a fighter's fighter, likened you to an American cowboy. He said that he wasn't all that impressed with you. He said that he's taken you down. He's hit you.
Let me tell you about Chimaev, guys. This is a fucking true story. And, since we're going to talk about training, one day I made fun of a Chechnyan. And he misunderstood what I said. And I wasn't, it was more of like a compliment to the fighter, and he sent me a message talking shit. And I said, Chimaev, you misunderstood, but I will see you tomorrow at 3 o'clock. Gloves or no gloves, turn up. And then guess what? No show, no answer. We talked it out. He said, no, it's okay. We talk about it. Here's the thing about Chimaev. The man could fucking fight. The man could fight. We all know that. He beat Usman to a decision. You know, Usman old, retired, but whatever. He still did it. But me and him are fucking different. Chimaev could be right here. I will fight that man to the death right here, knowing I'm going to die. That ain't fucking Chimaev, dude.
What do you think? Has Chimaev done enough to win a crack at Strickland for the middleweight belt? Paulo Costa was forced out of his fight with Khamzat Chimaev after he wasn't medically cleared to compete due to a staph infection in his elbow. The UFC middleweight certainly didn't fight in the cage at UFC 294, but somehow the UFC fighter got in a scuffle with Chimaev fans in the stands. What do you think? Should Chimaev fight for the middleweight title next, or should he fight Paulo Costa to settle their beef? Michael Venom Page may soon bring his talents to the UFC octagon. The dynamic striker recently hit free agency, concluding his contract with Bellator MMA. The fighter and his manager Audie Adder met with UFC officials in Abu Dhabi ahead of UFC 294. UFC CEO Dana White later confirmed the two sides were in talks on potentially welcoming him to the promotion.
Yesterday you took a photo with Michael Venom Page that came up on Instagram. He shared it. Are you guys in negotiations with him to sign him?
Listen, he's a kid that we're definitely interested in, and he's interested too, so possibly.
Early in the first round, in the light heavyweight showdown of Jonny Walker and Magomed Ankalaev for UFC 294, Walker ate an illegal knee strike from Ankalaev when the Brazilian was down on the canvas. The action was paused to allow Walker time to recover, but just moments later the fight was waved off by the referee. Here is the bizarre moment of Walker wanting to continue fighting, and that's when UFC CEO Dana White entered the cage to calm his fighters in an expletive-filled manner. In the UFC post-fight press conference, Dana White talked to reporters about the situation.
We also had some weird doctor decisions this evening.
Yeah, listen, the guy's inexperienced. He got up in it. I think there's a lot of things that probably happened. I guess he asked. I guess he asked him, "Where are you right now?" And his response was, "I'm in the desert." He's not wrong. I think there's a big language barrier in there between the two of them, inexperience, and it sucks. It's one of those things that happens sometimes, and we'll make it right and we'll fix it.
It's been a while since we've seen you get in the cage to stop some carnage. What exactly was going on in there between Jonny and Ankalaev?
Well, that didn't look like it was going in the right direction. That's all we needed. So I just, yeah.
In a card filled by fouls and controversial regulatory decision-making, UFC 294 also had great moments. Here are the fighters who were rewarded extra $50,000 for their performance of the night. Muhammad Mokaev submitted Tim Elliott in the third round, with an arm triangle choke. Said Nurmagomedov slept Gafurov with a first-round guillotine choke. Ikram Aliskerov nailed Warlley Alves with a flying knee to set up a first-round finish. Islam Makhachev defended his title with a brutal head kick knockout in his rematch with Alexander Volkanovski. If you like the content, please make sure to like and subscribe so you can get the latest news in UFC and other MMA promotions. Thanks for watching.